Hello, my friends. I hope you're fine. Well, today I would like to speak with you about something very important for me. Here we are going to speak about the books that changed my life, my favorite books, and what they teach me. Okay, the books. I believe everybody has books that they are very important. They shape our personality. They help us understand better the life. And today I will bring my books. Yeah, I would like that you watch this video, you reflect about the books I will mention, and after I would like to listen what is your books. Okay, so let's see the books that changed my life, my favorite books. So the first book that changed my life was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yes, is a I know is a very famous book. There are the movies, yes, and this movie changed my life. I will explain here. That was the first book I read complete. You know, I read first in Portuguese, the first book ever in my life. I read this book and was the first book that I got really interested in the topic of the book. So I read and I speak with my friends. I express my opinions about the history of the book. So because of these reasons, is the best, because it's a book that was the first book that made me uh, try to understand deep, the history, the characters, and that helped me to be a better student and to understand better the text. So it was very important this book, and this book opened my imagination. You know, opened a lot, and was one motivation to learn English because I got curious to read in English as well. So later I read in English. So this book for me is fantastic. The history, probably is so famous. Yes, is a wizard world with a wizard school and have magic and adventures. I love Harry Potter. I play Harry Potter games a lot. I watch it every year, the movies, and for me it's fantastic. The history is fantastic. The woman who wrote the book, J.K. Rowling, for me she's a genius. This history is fantastic. I remember that when I read was I have dreams that I was in the magic school. I had a dreams that I lived in this universe. So I love so much. This is easy. The book that opened my mind and it need to be the first here because it was my first book that I really loved. And I will read here the synopsis. Yes, this book tells the story of Harry, a boy who discovers he's a wizard. He goes to a magic school called Hogwarts. There he makes friends and learns about his past. He also faces danger and begins to understand his true power. And the main idea, yes, of the book is friendship, courage, and believing in yourself. Yes, very interesting, right? So I love this book. Okay, the second book, very important. Total Recall, My Unbelievably True Life Story by Arnold Schwarzenegger. The synopsis. This book tells the life story of Arnold. He grew up in Austria and became a famous bodybuilder, actor, and politician. He worked very hard to reach his dreams and never gave up. The main idea: discipline, ambition, hard work can change your life. This book is very important for me. I read when I was in the finishing the high school. Yeah, I love this story. It was so catching for me. Um, I remember when I read this book, I was a very shy person, and I was very. I have many problems, about interact, about put myself in the situations. This book, Arnold, teach us about how to deal with business, how to deal with family as a man. This book brings some rules of the life that since I read these rules and I apply in my life, change a lot. About how to approach to people, how to speak, how to deal in situations that you feel under pressure. This book, The Life of Arnold Schwarzenegger, teach us so many things. Let's pick here. You know about him. Search a little bit. The guy was a guy from a countryside of Austria, doesn't speak in English, was a guy that have many problems in the family, and in the 60s, the guy came to United States and he started a career, and now a guy that's not American was a governor of California. Think about was how victory this guy got. We need is I will stop to say because I don't want to bring spoilers. I really recommend read this book and change your life. This book needs to be here because I love it. Okay, now let's go to other book. Traveling to Infinity. My Life with Stephen Hawking by Jane Hawking. The synopsis. The book tells the story of Jane and her life with her husband, Stephen Hawking. It shows their love, challenge, and strength while living with a serious disease. Main idea: love, patience, and staying strong during difficult times. This book, I'll be honest here, speaking with you. I cried when I read some parts of the book. I cried because I am a big fan of Stephen Hawking, and this book shows how the life is hard because his condition, but in the same way how even with all the struggles of the life, we can do something for us. We can make something. We can prove. We can create. Stephen Hawking was that man. Yes, he in this book speak a little bit about his theory, the theory of everything. The book he explored this, and it's fantastic. How the possibilities of the how the universe started, the hypothesis, the theory, and the book explore this in a simple way. Don't use math, nothing. It's about looking the universe and contemplate and try to understand. In the same way, you see the life of him, the problems of the disability, the difficulties they live. So it's a very passionate book, and it's fantastic. There's no words. I recommend you to read the book and watch the movie as well. It's a great movie, fantastic you know okay, and let's go to the last book. This is a little controversial and polemic, but I will explain here. 30 Reasons Why by J. Asher. The synopsis: this book tells the story of Hannah, a teenage girl who records 13 tapes. Each tape explains a reason, connects to people and events in her life. A boy named Clay listens to the tape and learns how small actions can affect others in serious ways. The main idea: kindness matter. Our actions can impact other people more than we think. This book, I said, is polemic because this book is about suicide and depression. Yes, this book, maybe there's a series on Netflix that was very famous about this book and bringing many discussions because this book and this series showed the reality of suicide. Show is so real, so strong in the sense. But why I put it here, because this book is important, because this problem about depression, suicide, I had in my personal life. I lost a person with that, so this book and the series as well helped me understand this, to put myself in other situations, to understand why some people did what they did. So this book is the first book that I saw that really speak about the deep about suicide, deep about depression, in some ways that some people, some other series or other movies don't explore. So in this book, I found many answers for situations that I saw in my personal life as well. When I say personal life, it's about people around me. So that's why this book is in my list. So that's it. These are the books that I love. These books are books that change my perception of the life, help me learn new things. And this is the only books that I would read again. I'll be honest here. I don't have this habit to read the same book again. This is the only books that I have this patience to see again, to enjoy again reading. Yeah. So that's it. in this list, what book did you like more? And what is, I would like to listen from you one book, it's okay, that's really important for you and why. Please bring that, you can discuss, okay? So, see you, bye bye.